Aim point shooting, or PNS, is the simplest shooting method for use in close quarters combat, and it can be learned and maintained with little or no training. It utilizes our natural ability of being able to accurately point at things, to accurately aim a gun at close quarters. Basically, you just grab your gun, put your index finger along its side, point at a target, and pull the trigger with your middle finger. That's all there is to it. You just point and pull, point and pull. It works because when your index finger is along the side of a gun, it, the barrel, and the sights will be in correct alignment. And when you point at a target, you will get a correct sight picture, which is necessary for accurate shooting. Then you just pull the trigger, point and pull, point and pull. Shooters can easily determine by dry firing, the use of airsoft or range shooting, how much practice they need to maintain proficiency. As to the effectiveness of PNS, here's a video of me hitting 7 aerials in a row, pop cans tossed up in the air, at a distance of 9 to 12 feet. With sight shooting, that is just not possible. And here's a video of me moving and shooting using PNS. It works just fine. The aiming aids shown in the pictures are not required to be used with PNS, but they can make index finger placement mechanical and automatic, and can keep the index finger away from the slide with rapid firing, and with the gun jumping in your hand. PNS is for use at close quarters, at less than 21 feet where most all gunfights occur, and where sight shooting, traditional marksmanship, is not or cannot be used in most all cases. And it is at close quarters where there is the greatest chance of being shot and or killed. If you're going to be shot or killed, there's an 80% chance that it will happen at close quarters. So if you have a gun for self-defense, it would be wise to know how to use PNS or another point shooting method. It's a bit funny or even laughable that the naysayers who ridicule and badmouth PNS never produce any pictures or videos of sight shooting being used effectively in close quarters armed encounters. And that's bizarre, since sight shooting is a traditional shooting method which has been taught to shooters for over 100 years. As such, you'd expect that there would be thousands and thousands of them, and that every class of new shooters would be shown lots of them. But they are rarer than hen's teeth. Because they don't have pictures or videos of sight shooting being used effectively in close quarters combat, is probably why the naysayers go ballistic when presented with effective alternative shooting methods to sight shooting. Or perhaps they feel guilty about not teaching or promoting effective alternative shooting methods for use in close quarters self-defense, as not doing that sets up police and civilians to be killed. One would think that they would have the gumption to try a few point shooting methods on their own and find out the pluses and minuses for close quarters shooting, and airsoft can be used for that. What they usually do is just stand back and hurl invectives and insults. They must think that they're saying this or that, plus some chest beating, verifies what they say, or they dismiss point shooting outright because top competitors don't use it. And some demand proof through competition before a method is worthy of them to try. Well, the U.S. Army supports the use of point shooting at close quarters and at night. This is from FM 23-35, Combat Training with Pistols, M9 and M11, of June 2003. Quick-fire point shooting is for engaging an enemy at less than 5 yards and is also useful for night firing. Using a two-handed grip, the firer brings a weapon up close to the body until it reaches chin level. He then thrusts it forward until both arms are straight, and the arms and body form a triangle which can be aimed as a unit. In thrusting the weapon forward, the firer can imagine that there's a box between him and the enemy, and he's thrusting the weapon into the box. The trigger is smoothly squeezed to the rear as the elbows straighten. Now, PNS is simpler, quicker, and can be done one-handed. Note that the grip used with PNS is a strong, four-fingered grip. It provides a strong and level shooting platform which is enhanced when the gun is gripped very hard, as happens in real close quarters combat, per the literature. Some say that basic shooting training produces only novice shooters, and that both police and civilians will need extensive additional training to become as proficient as special forces, who are capable of shooting effectively in life and death situations and without reliance on the sights. Unfortunately, most all run-of-the-mill gun owners don't, won't, or can't train up to that level of effectiveness. And since assault, robberies, and home invasions happen at up close and personal distances, they most likely will not have the time to take a practice stance, align the sights correctly on the target, and squeeze the trigger in a close quarters life threat situation. So it would be a good idea for them to learn point shooting, and specifically PNS, as that can be done with little or no training, using common sense and an appropriate gun.